Okay, I'm ready to get started. Good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, and to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Finally, I need everyone to raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Okay, let's start with Mr. Bonet on the male side.
Can't get back and sit. You can sit down now?
Yeah.
Mr. Bonet, I would normally speak to you directly, but you've taken advantage of the opportunity to have a lawyer here. So I'm going to address your lawyer. You should understand that this proceeding is not privileged or private. So anything you say can be used against you. And I generally tell people, don't say anything in this proceeding you wouldn't want the whole world to know. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Arca, Mr. Bonet has been charged with one count of trafficking marijuana with an alleged weight of 18.4 pounds. I cannot set bond at this stage on any trafficking marijuana charge over 10 pounds. So bond is going to be denied at this point. He is going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning, and he'll have a bond hearing date set for September 24th at 8:30 in the morning. Now, I looked at his GCIC, his criminal history, and I believe this is his first felony arrest. So I don't know if the district attorney's office will be willing to work with you to figure out a consent bond or not, but that's an option.
Understood,
barring
Judge.
waiting until then.
Judge, is there a certain ADA who has these matters until they've been assigned to an appropriate judge and courtroom?
The short answer is I don't know. The way that it used to be is they had one ADA that handled preliminary hearings.
It's Freeman, right?
And that person would do a lot of the negotiation on the front end because she was very familiar with the warrants and things of that nature. I don't know if that's still the case though.
Yeah, I believe that's Miss Freeman. I'll reach out to her, Judge.
Okay.
I appreciate the information. I'll be in touch with Ms. Ronet after this.
Okay. Is there anything else, Mr. Arca?
No, not at this time, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Bonet, you're free to go back, and Mr. Arca, you're free to go, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Let's switch over to the lady side. I believe the first person I have is Miss Dalton.
Yes, ma'am, this is Miss Dalton.
Morning,
Okay.
Judge. How are you?
I'm doing well. Miss Dalton, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of driving on a suspended license, 1 count of theft by receiving stolen property being a driver's tag, 1 count of speeding, and 1 count of concealing the identification of a motor vehicle. I've set bond at $1,500 on the driving on suspended license charge, $1,500 on the theft by receiving stolen property charge, and $500 each on the speeding and concealing the ID. So you're gonna have a total bond set at $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
I would have to call my daddy and
Okay,
see what he can do. But I also have a sister that lives in Marietta.
okay. The theft by receiving is gonna be a felony offense, so you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for September 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, did you freeze? Ooh, I think it froze. Uh-oh. Looks like we lost both cameras. Give it a second to try to come back on.